Everybody in the parlor! Everybody in the parlor! Everybody in the parlor!
What do you suppose she wants?
Well, it ain't time for vittles.
Well, let's find out.
Hey, Uncle Jed, it's that time of year. Maybe she wants to give us a tonic.
Maybe, maybe not.
Hey, I'll bet that's it. She wants to dose us.
So, who's afraid of a little sulfur and molasses?
Me?
Everybody in the parlor!
He's here, Granny.
I suppose you're all wondering why I asked you here today.
I ain't.
Hush up. As you know, I've been a doctor in the service of mankind for nigh on to 70 years now.
That's right, Granny.
I'll say.
70 years of healing and giving of myself, bringing babies into the world, setting bones, mixing medicine, curing colds, making poultices, healing warts, rheumatiz, summer complaints, chilblains, hives.
Folks is mighty grateful to you, Granny.
Jed, Jethro, Nellie Mae, I'm giving up my practice of medicine. I'm taking in my shingle.
Hot dog! No more sulfur and molasses.
Granny, how come you want to quit doctoring?
Can't tell you, Jed. I just know I gotta do it.
Well, who's going to take care of us?
I thought of that. Sit down. I may have to go back home, but I just can't leave you in this miserable city of Beverly Hills without one single trained doctor.
Granny, there's more doctors here than you can shake a stick at.
Oh, I've decided to train one of you to carry on the traditions of the hypocrite's oath.
Well, don't keep looking at me, Granny. I decided I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I want to be a soda jerk.
And I want to be a veterinarian. Take care of critters.
Well, the choice is yours to make.
Thank you, Granny.
Yeah, thanks, Gran.
And the choice is to learn doctrine or get took to the woodshed.
But, Granny...
Never mind what, Granny.
Hi, Jane.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Howdy, Miss Jane.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's about Granny and her doctoring.
Shh, not so loud.
Is Granny practicing again?
Well, no, that's what I want to talk to you about. She's giving it up.
Oh, that's a shame. We're going to miss her stump water and slippery elmoos and all those other wonderful medicines.
Yes, but after all those years of service, she does deserve a rest.
Well, that ain't what she's going home for.
Going home? You mean back to the hills?
Yeah, she's wanting to take her share of the money.
Money? She can't think of all those millions of people out here that need her.
Well, they ain't exactly been breaking down the door. Anyway, she wants to go home and go into research.
Research?
Yeah, she wants to devote the rest of her life to finding a cure for freckles.
Cure for what?
Freckles. Oh, I reckon that ain't the real reason, but that's all I could get her to say.
Well, surely something can be done to keep her here.
I don't know what. Her mind is set. Quick as one of the young'uns learns enough doctoring to take over, she's gone. So I just come over to give you a little head start to getting her share of the money together. Jethro Seifert had come to about 16 million. No! Oh, one good thing. I did talk her out of taking it all home in silver.
Wonderful.
She'll settle for gold dust.
Granny goes. Mr. Clampett will soon follow. Research? Freckle cure? Why could she be going?
If I may offer an unemotional analysis based on my first-hand objective observations...
Just spit it out.
Well, I think this has been brought on by her having no one to doctor. She misses feeling useful and needed.
Yes, that's probably it. Well, why didn't you do something?
Chief, I could hardly be expected to solicit patients for an unlicensed granny doctor.
Wait a minute. We still have a chance. She would never run out on a sick friend.
Chief, I could never deceive Granny with a fake illness.
Who's talking about a fake? I'm only asking you to take a mild poison or break a bone or something. Look, I could drop this on you, but... Here's a Is your company loyalty good for one little fracture? Was even going to autograph her cast.
Now pay attention, young'uns. I got a lot of doctrine to learn yet.
Here's my patient.
Good. In a couple of days, you'll know more medicine than any of these city pill pushers.
Well, how come you ain't gonna doctor no more?
Don't ask, child. It's a secret. Now I'm going to learn you more bandages. I wish I had a human being to show you on. Instead of old Duke, you and Jethro would see some fancy wrappings.
Well, maybe we can find somebody.
I'm back from the bank.
Get Duke off the bed.
File these, please, Miss Hathaway. Oh, it's warm in here. Better turn up the air conditioning.
Oh, please, no more.
Why not? Well, don't tell me you're cold.
I'm freezing. I'm gonna get pneumonia.
Oh, good girl. And when you do, I know just the doctor for you. She'll get you right in, no waiting.
Dr. Clyburn.
What are you running here, a frozen food locker?
Hello, boy.
Why have you got it so cold, Milburn?
Cold? Well, what makes you think it's cold?
Well, for one thing, that. Now turn it off.
Oh, all right.
This girl's probably suffering from exposure.
Get your feet-grabbing hands off her. She already has a doctor.
All right, then what did he get me over here for?
Come into my office. I remembered last week you were around trying to raise $8 million for a new charity clinic.
Don't tell me you're going to cough up a donation. You suffer from chronic constriction of the wallet.
Roy, how would you like all $8 million in one nice, neat little check?
All of it? Well, if you could arrange that, I might even learn to like you.
Sit down, Roy.
No strings attached?
Well, there's just one little thread. Sit down.
All right, I'm finished.
Granny, you promised if I did this, you'd only show him one bandage.
It is one bandage. Starts here and it ends there.
What's it called, Granny?
This is called my general purpose bandage. If you ain't sure what's wrong with your patient, it generally takes care of it.
Jethro, get me out of here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jed, please stay here. I got a lot of bandage to learn these young'uns yet.
You can show him on Duke. Now unwrap me.
Oh, all right.
This whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. Learning somebody to take your place just so you can find a cure for freckles?
Jed, I gotta do what I gotta do. Here, young'uns, grab hold of this end and yank, not too fast. Last time I unwound one of these, Aunt Tilly went spinning right into the slough.
Are you kidding? You want me to go up and ask Granny for advice on how to practice medicine? Even among witch doctors, she's a quack.
I'm not asking you to follow the advice. Just listen to her. Make her feel important and needed.
You've spent too much time in that cold office. You've got frostbite of the brain.
Roy, she'll go back to the hills.
I would love nothing better. I've had too many run-ins with that unlicensed, untrained queen of the voodoos. Goodbye, Milburn.
Roy, I'm begging you.
Forget it.
All right. But I can't forget the sick and suffering you're depriving of a bed in the Clyburn Charity Clinic.
Who charity clinic?
If you help me, I can arrange for Jed Clampett to donate the entire $8 million you need, and he won't care what you name the clinic.
That means it would be completed 1 year sooner. No, not with Granny. No. Oh, I'll do it.
Thank you.
But I'm only doing it so the sick and needy will get help that much sooner. Don't think it's so I can call it the Clyburn Charity Clinic. Of course, it does have a nice ring to it.
Jed, please come back and help me. I've got a lot to learn them young'uns, Jed.
Granny, once and for all, I want you to tell the truth why you're quitting doctoring and going back to the hills.
Well, I got a lot of research to do, and they got everything I need back there.
You don't give two shucks about curing freckles.
No, but there's something I gotta work on.
What?
Don't make me tell you.
Granny?
All right.
I gotta discover a cure for a brand new ailment.
How come?
'Cause I think I got it.
You do?
It ain't in none of the books, so I get to name it. I'm calling it Granny's Complaint.
How long you had it?
Well, I first noticed it about 20 years ago. And I've been going downhill ever since.
You should have said something. What's the symptom?
Well, to start off with, my hearing ain't what it used to be, and my eyes is getting weaker. My rheumatism is worse, and I can't run as fast as I used to. I get chilled easier, and my joints are stiff in the morning.
Granny, all them things is happening to me, too.
It's catching.
Of course it's catching. It's old age.
Not old age, it's Granny's Complaint. I discovered it, I get to name it.
Call it what you want to. It's nothing more than getting on in years.
Jed, you've always had a good head on you, but leave the diagnosing to us medical people.
Funny, the last time I felt like this was just before they landed us at Guadalcanal. How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Dr. Clyburn, this is a surprise.
I suppose it is. I came to see Granny.
Oh, well, I don't know. She ain't in one of her very best moods, and at best, you two get along about as good as two dogs with only one bone.
I didn't come to fight with her, Mr. Clampett. I came to ask her advice.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid that, Ask her what?
Well, I need some medical advice.
Oh, well, that's different. I'll tell her. You better wait out here until I talk to her. Sometimes Granny starts shooting before she finds out what flag you're flying.
I thought I heard you talking out there.
You did, and you will never guess who's waiting outside to see you.
Who?
Dr. Clyburn.
Clyburn! Oh, he's after me. That gourd-headed city sawbones. Keep him out on the porch. I'll go upstairs and drop my chest of drawers on
Oh,
him.
Granny, he's here to ask your advice.
In a pig's eye, it's a trick.
No, he's standing out there humble as a skinny mule.
All right. But one wrong move out of him and he's gonna have a nose full of knuckles.
Come in, Dr. Clyburn. Here's Granny.
Hello, Granny.
Howdy. Now, state your business. I'm in a hurry.
Granny, I realized this morning that I have been too hasty in not taking advantage of having close at hand one with such great experience and knowledge.
Go on.
So I've come over hoping to spend some time with you and get some general medical advice.
The dickens, you say. Did you hear that, Jed?
I got to admire you, Doctor.
What for? He should have been here 4 years ago. Now I ain't got time to mess with him.
You don't?
No, I gotta go back to the hills.
Oh, please don't go, Granny. This means an awful lot to me.
Well, you are some kind of a doctor, and my oath says that I gotta help you out if I can. So I guess I can spare you a little time.
Thank you, Granny.
Dr. Granny?
Dr. Granny.
Just what is it you want to know?
I'm not quite sure yet.
All right, I'll see what you're lacking. How do you treat Spotted Gimple?
Spotted Gimple?
Well, what do you do with Purple Drowsies? How about Critic, Bloat, Angry Gizzard, Dredge the Goose Eye?
Perhaps I know them by their scientific names.
Them is the scientific name.
You better sort of start from scratch.
Maybe I'd better.
Well, I ain't got time for private tutoring. You'll have to go in the class with Jethro and Ellie Mae. Go on upstairs, third door to the right, and sit in the back of the class.
Where you going, Miss Hathaway?
Chief, it's 110 in here. If you won't let me turn the heat down, I'm leaving.
Not until your coffee break.
I'm suffering from heat exhaustion.
Oh, that's awful. Now, come on, I'll take you right up to Dr. Granny.
Give up. You can't get me sick enough to go to her for treatment.
Why not? Nothing possibly can happen to you. Dr. Clyburn is up there.
It's for charity. $8 million. Charity. $8 million.
Now we're going to take up anatomy. Pay attention. About here is your gizzard.
Granny, do you know it's against the law to set up your still in Beverly Hills?
It's against the law to make corn squeezers. This is my granny's complaint cure.
Granny, I told you everybody's going to have Granny's complaint along about age 65.
That's why I ain't taking the time to go home to find a cure. Case is an epidemic.
While you're at it, I found 2 more symptoms.
You have?
Yeah, gray hair and wrinkles.
It ain't old age. I told you that. And the whole world's gonna thank me when I find a cure.
Well, leastways, I'm glad you give up trying to train the young'uns to take over for you.
Well, it would have took too long to learn Ellie and Jethro.
That's right.
That's why I picked Dr. Clyburn.
What'd he have to say on it?
Well, I was just about to go tell him. He's in the kitchen, learning to make my skunk root dyspepsy potion. Dr. Clyburn, Roy?
Oh, hello, Granny. Dr. Granny.
I got some good news for you.
Good news?
I've been watching you, and I decided that you're the one to take over my practice.
Your practice?
This here is my patient file. Take good care of them.
Oh, but I...
Don't thank me. Just take it.
You have this many patients?
Well, to tell the truth, I ain't caught on too well out here. Jed, Jethro, Ellie Mae. That's about it.
Granny, why are you doing this?
I suppose I'll have to tell you. Sit down. Now keep this a secret. I ain't as well as I look.
What's wrong with you?
It don't matter. What matters is I got to find a cure for it.
Well, if you tell me about it, I'm sure I can help you.
Roy, you've got talent. But for a young fella, you're awful cocky. Over that fire out yonder, I got cooking every root, berry, powder, potion, known to medical science. How are you going to beat that?
Well, for one thing, have you tried penicillin?
Penicillin? What's that?
It's a drug. We get it from bread mold.
Roy, you've got to forget them home remedies.
It is not a home remedy. Haven't you heard of streptomycin, aureomycin, cortisone?
Roy, you come to me for advice, and I'm giving it to you. Forget them quack medicines. Stick with modern science. Your stump waters, your slippery elm ooze, cocoon root, and them wonder drugs like sassafras and wahoo bark.
All right, Granny. You know best.
Oh, the dyspepsy medicine. You done ruined the potion.
I mix everything in there you told me. I put the lid on the kettle.
On the kettle it should be, ain't it? This pewter takes the bite out of the mixture. Too late. It's done turned.
This will never work. Everyone will know you're faking.
What else am I going to do? You let me down. I can't depend on Clyburn to keep her here.
I categorically deny
Now,
that
don't
I have...
start that again. Just drive back and try to round up some sick people for Granny. If you have to, hit a couple of pedestrians.
I'll get it, Ellie.
Well, let me get it.
Mr. Drysdale.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not sure. Is Dr. Granny here?
Well, I think she's out back. I'll run and fetch her.
Ellie, wait a minute. We know a heap of doctoring after this morning. Let's surprise Granny and give him a little of that there first aid.
We don't know what's wrong with him.
Ellie, you sure ain't too bright. It's a perfect time for that there general purpose bandage.
Don't worry now, Mr. Drysdale. Everything's gonna be all right.
Annie, where's Dr. Clyburn? I just come from the kitchen. He ain't there.
I told him to pack his little black bag and move along. I ain't got no more time to mess with him.
I thought he was the one going to take over your practice.
I couldn't trust my family to a superstitious quack like him. Why, his favorite medicine is moldy bread.
Still be living in the dark ages. Whatever it is you're cooking here, it sure is putting out the fumes.
It's my first try at a cure, Jed. Dripping through over yonder. 30 or 40 more batches, and I may have found what's going to rid the world of Granny's complaint.
Well, even if you don't, you have hit upon a surefire way of taking the leaves off trees.
What are you going to do with me? Where's Dr. Granny?
Take it easy, Mr. Drysdale. You're going to be just fine. All right now, nurse.
Why ain't you a nurse?
Look, I'll be the doctor today. And tomorrow you can have a turn. All right, now I prescribe a great big dopper of sulfur and molasses. I'll get that. You go on down and heat up some of that crow soup.
Now, you stay right there, Mr. Drysdale. We'll be right back. Oh, howdy, Dr. Clyburn. Go on in and see how we fix Mr. Drysdale.
You mean Milburn Drysdale is in there?
Oh, yes, sir. And if you don't mind, we took the case.
Milburn, do you know what you got me into?
Don't tell me your troubles. Look what I've gotten myself into.
And it's all for nothing. Granny is not going back to the hills.
She not?
No, so that'll be $8 million.
Later. Help me get out of this before Granny sees me.
All right, now what about my $8 million?
Come on, we'll take your car.
Remember, Jethro, tomorrow you're the nurse.
Well, why don't we trade off every other week? I'm getting to like this doctor and stuff.
Looky, Jethro, Dr. Clyburn's done cured Mr. Drysdale.
What do you mean? That was my general purpose bandage. These hands, they was meant for healing. I got the gift.
Jed, I done it. Come quick. Jed, I found the cure, Jed.
What's the matter, Granny?
Jed, I found the cure, and on the first batch, I've cured Granny's complaint.
Granny, there ain't no cure for Granny's complaint.
There is now. It took care of all of my symptoms. I'm even seeing twice as good as I ever did before.
Twice as far?
Twice as many. There's two of everything. I'm even hearing bells I never did hear ring before.
There ain't no bells ringing.
That's because you ain't had none of my cure. The pains have all gone out of my joints. Instead of chills, I got a nice, warm feeling all over. My rheumatiz has plumb disappeared. I feel like a young'un again. Yahoo!
Too bad. Come morning, she's in for one humdinger of a relapse.